Hey folks, Stronghold Crafter Kev here. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a subscriber, thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, in this video we're going to continue my tutorial series on how to make a castle tower out of foam. Yes. Alright, in this video I'm going to show you my techniques on continuing with cutting the foam for the roof, basic shape for the Merlons, and the trim pieces. So it's been interesting. I didn't want to include it with the cutting the castle walls because I thought it would just be a little bit too long. So at least I broke it up to where you can see how I'm varying the techniques with cutting with the Hotwire Foam Factory 3D scrolling table. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And feel free to subscribe because I have a lot more things coming to the channel and I wouldn't want you to miss out. And for more information on my craft, visit my website, which is strongholdsoffantasy.com. And I'll see you in a bit. Hey folks, welcome back to this tutorial. And I'm going to do a quick recap. In the last video I showed you how to basically cut the overall walls for the tower. So we ended up getting two bigger pieces and two smaller pieces, and I'll show you in a sec how that will all fit together. Hold on. Alright, for simplicity's sake I'm just going to stack these walls and show you how they're going to fit together here. This is just a brief showing of how they're going to look. And I got the wrong wall on the wrong side. Okay. Okay. Basically like that, and that's off camera. There we go. So we have the two longer ends which take the full length of the tower, then we have the two shorter ends which fit in there. And now we're on to the part where I'm just going to combine it with the trim pieces, the Merlons, and the roof. So, let me get those pieces and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. Alright, now what you're looking at here, sorry folks, I was trying to keep this in camera here. We have the trim pieces with the Merlon pieces on top of each other. And I've already pre-cut the stuff. The roof is pretty self-explanatory, that piece. Now, what you're seeing here in the middle, this is actually where the walls of the tower would go. So, for simplicity's sake, just imagine that they are in this blank area here. And I'm going to try and pick this up with my hands. This may or may not work since not anything is glued together. And aha, here we go. So but we're not talking about pre-assembly just yet, we're just talking about cutting the pieces out. So I will briefly show you how this is all cut out, and we'll go from there. So let me get my Hotwire tool up and running, and I'll be right back. Alright, here is the three pieces I'm going to cut. I have this one, and this one. So, as before, this is the Hotwire Foam Factory 3D scrolling table, and thing you want to keep in mind, the trim pieces, it's optional. You can either put fancy or simple designs in the trim piece, or you can just leave it blank or leave it solid and just be done with it. That's up to the how you design it, really. The Merlons, that is a whole other thing to think about. How tall do you want them to be? How wide do you want them to be? Things to keep in consideration. It all depends on how complicated you want the design to be. And in this case, and of course, remember, mark your parts. So I put down here Merlon 5.5, and this one was the, well, it's cut out now, but it's the shorter end. So when they fit together, it's going to be virtually seamless, but the spacing is relatively the same between the outside one and this inner one here. So use a ruler, or in my case I use this there we go, a rafting square. Comes in very handy. I'm not going to go through the trouble of measuring them right here on camera. That'll just take too long, but you get the idea. You know, you measure your width and length and then mark it with a marker. So, and it's a good idea to pre-mark your stuff ahead of time before you start cutting. That way, if you have a lot of parts to cut, you can cut them all at once instead of measuring one, cutting one, measuring one, cutting one. That can get a little monotonous. And with this particular piece, I measured one, drew it, and cut it. And once I filed the angel hairs off, I used the same one as a template for the rest of them, because they're all the same length anyway. And so, without further ado, I will get to cutting here and show you how it's done. Be very careful, because this thing is hot. And hold on a second, I'm going to go open my window for some ventilation. So keep in mind, you want to have a rag or a paper towel or something to wipe off the excess which gets on the wire. And you can tell that by the way it's smoking a little bit. And always keep in mind where your fingers are in respect to the wire, and take your time when cutting it. Let the wire do the work. Okay, that was fun. By the way, a couple things to keep in mind while I'm bringing this to an end of this part. Your lines are not going to be... Okay, now it's off. Your lines are not going to be perfectly straight. And if things look a little bit oddly shaped, that's okay. You can file it a little bit if you want it to be a little bit more crisp in some cases, especially with the, the angel hairs you're going to get rid of anyway. But the other thing is, you're not going to really get a perfect cut with these tools anyway. and which is fine because castle architecture doesn't have to be perfect. And aside from that, this is wargaming terrain, so people are not going to stop in the middle of a battle and critique the terrain. They're going to just battle, okay? So, thanks for watching. Bye.